Welcome everybody, this is Fergal reporting from outside the Department of Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy. Just got a call that there's an action has just happened down here. See what's going on. Okay, we've got it looks like we've got somebody standing up on top of the entranceway to the Department of BEIS, Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy, with a sign saying "Act Now for All Our Children," and it's got 4 degrees is mass murder, in reference to the fact that the own governmental department has agreed that we are heading towards 4 degrees of warming, which is going to cause mass death, starvation and crop failures. Yeah, I don't exactly know what's happened here. I'm just going to see if I can find somebody to have a quick word with. You're doing the fun of the favour. There you go. Do you know what's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to say a quick word? Just
yeah.
Yep. You got it. So just on Extinction Rebellion UK.
Yeah. Hi.
Speak normally. Yeah.
Hi.
What's going on?
Well, we're just standing out here today to protest about the government's failure to inform the public about climate change and the severity of the crisis. Yeah. As you can see, we're headed for 4 degrees by the end of the century. That's within some of our children's lifetimes, yeah. And the general population are not aware of this. So we're just wondering why the government have not prepared to do this, why the media are colluding in this, keeping the people ignorant about the serious threats that's facing them in the next few years.
Yeah. And so this guy's climbed up and he's unravelled a banner and he's got a very clear sign and message.
Yeah, he says, "Act now for all our children." And a lot of us here have children. I do. Yeah. I know the gentleman up there does as well. And we're worried. We really want to see some action on this to protect ourselves and our children. Yeah. And we really...
He's speaking.
That's what this is about. Why are you hearing it from me? The government knows this is happening. Read the report from their advisors on climate change. The Committee on Climate Change. Their most recent report was in June. It's 180 pages long. I can summarise it in this way. The government has not implemented the policies it needs to meet its own inadequate commitments on climate change. The government is not preparing this country to meet what we can expect in terms of disruption and chaos. The government's own Committee on Climate Change, headed by a former Tory minister, has told them you need to prepare this country for 4 degrees of man-made climate change within the next 80 years. I would ask the Committee on Climate Change, how can you prepare for 4 degrees of global warming when experts have said it's going to be very difficult, impossible, to feed everyone when we have 4 degrees of man-made warming. At 2 degrees of man-made warming, which we may well pass by the year 2050, so in 30 years' time, all the coral in the ocean will die. Coral is a rich marine habitat. It's threatened, it's dying, it's going to go in our children's lifetime. My children are going to witness the death of coral in the ocean. If you have ever seen the Great Barrier Reef, you're not going to be able to see it again after 2050, not alive, it will be dead.
So we got in case you're just watching us.
They're going to keep rising for centuries. That's a phrase I borrowed from the Committee on Climate Change, the government's advisors. The oceans will keep rising for centuries after we stop emitting carbon. Did you know that off the top of your head? If not, I don't criticise you, but I criticise our government and our media. They know this. Why are they not telling us?
Exactly.
I have a theory. It's because they feel uncomfortable and embarrassed because their reaction to climate change is inadequate. If they start chatting about the scale of the unfolding disaster, people are going to say, "Oh, what are you doing about it?" And they will say, "We're going to do something in 30 years. 30 years is not soon enough. If we wait for 30 years to achieve net zero, we will have a 50-50 chance, a less than 50-50 chance of keeping global warming below 1.5 degrees. That's gambling with our children's lives. Again, did you know that off the top of your head? If not, I don't criticise you, but I criticise our government. They are not revealing the scale of the emergency. Obviously, if you can be bothered to read a 180-page report from the Committee on Climate Change, you'll learn a lot. But most of us are leading busy lives. Many of us have never heard of the Committee on Climate Change. Why should ordinary people have to wade through 180 pages from a government commission in order to find out what's going to happen to their children over the next 80 years? I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's right. MPs last year declared a climate emergency. Good stuff. Okay, MPs, step up. Action.
Going to see if it...
Maybe people who know about this stuff, like MPs, maybe they should be gluing themselves to things. Maybe they should be trying to give their colleagues cause for thought. Are we really going to sit around and twiddle our thumbs while people starve? Millions of malnourished people across the global south. Central America, Africa. Africa's getting hotter. Rain is becoming more unpredictable. Rainfall is down overall, but it comes more often in catastrophic storms that cause more damage than they bring benefits. And I'm going to quote a regional head of our own Environment Agency. In February, during the flooding, when this country was seeing damaging floods, the regional head of the Environment Agency, the Herefordshire, tweeted, "This is not normal. This is not even the new normal, because it's going to get worse." So people in the Environment Agency, who work for the government, people in the Committee on Climate Change, who work for the government, are planning, they're trying to plan about how we're going to deal with this catastrophe. I would suggest that rather than planning to deal with the catastrophe, we try to avert the catastrophe which is in our power. I was first taught about man-made global warming at the age of 11 in a geography lesson. That's how common knowledge it was. I'm now 45 and so little has happened that I feel obliged to do this. Does that sound ridiculous to anyone else?
Yeah.
To ask them, at what rate is the world heating up? Prime Minister, do you know? What are the range of likely outcomes? And crucially, what are the consequences of each of those outcomes? Because the United Nations and scientists have told us consistently for several years now that going above 1.5 degrees of warming will be catastrophic. And we're heading for a likely 4 degrees this century. So, objectively speaking, with no drama, what we're heading for is beyond catastrophic. Is the Prime Minister aware of that? I wish I had the opportunity to ask him. It's PMQs on Wednesday. Perhaps someone should ask our Prime Minister a question about climate change at PMQs.
Yes.
I wonder if any of our MPs feel up to that. I wonder if any of our MPs are prepared to step up and do some of the heavy lifting on this. Because it's their job to ask the Prime Minister difficult questions. And I feel confident from the way he behaves that the question, Prime Minister, how bad is global warming, will be a difficult question for him to answer. I don't think he knows.
No.
He clearly doesn't care about the consequences. I don't think he can imagine his children ever standing in line to get water from a standpipe in the street. I don't know what's going to happen in Bristol. I don't know how soon.
So in case you're just joining us, we're in front of the Department of, I think it's Department of Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy. BEIS, where this gentleman here has taken to the entrance above, and he's highlighting to the people inside the failures of their departments and the governmental departments to act now. He's giving a very passionate speech, a very educational speech on climate science. Oh, we're talking about the BBC.
Reported on a record-breaking heat wave. I think it was something like 6 consecutive days of temperatures above 34 degrees in London, which
There you go. So while they interlude with the
it's stood since the 1960s. Okay? The BBC reported that
he's talking about the
without referring to climate change. If the BBC reports on temperatures going up and up and up, the angle is everyone's flocking to the beach.
yeah, to hear that. So the BBC failed to reporting up the heat wave that we just had, 34 degrees, and the BBC failed to actually put any relation to the climate emergency.
22 years, and the BBC's angle of this is people flock to the beach.
Yeah, so he's talking about BBC's angle that it's good having heat waves.
Temperature ever recorded on Earth in California.
Yeah,
Not coincidentally, it was just before California went up in flames again.
yeah. So about California, about the wildfires.
About the hottest temperature ever recorded on Earth a couple of weeks ago. They didn't link it to climate change. BBC, how can you live with yourself?
Tell the truth.
You
You're
got
a public service broadcaster.
yeah, BBC shame on
So
you.
when people like Extinction Rebellion say, tell the truth, they mean, tell us what's actually happening. Yes, people know that climate change is happening, but they need to know more than that. You cannot run a story about the hottest temperature ever recorded on Earth and fail to link it to climate change if you want to be taken seriously. What's their angle going to be next time they report on the oceans rising? Everyone's flocking to the beach.
Is he okay?
Yeah.
Everything's
I just
covered.
went to the toilet, but they're locked.
Oh, are they? Yeah. Yeah. I just want to cover some of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So, in case you're just joining us, we're outside the Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy. We used to have a department for, it was called DEC, which was the Department of Energy and Climate Change, which was then closed, and it was then merged into the Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy. So they lessened the they lessened the importance of the Department of Climate Change. So much so when they mixed it. There's a conversation now going on between the rebel protester and the lady on the ground. Having a nice little friendly bit of banter. Standing up there very defiant. I can't hear what she's saying. That's what I'm trying to hear. I can't hear what she's reading out. She's asking him, do you accept that? He does not accept it. There you go. So, in case you're just joining us, a reminder, we're in front of the Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy in Westminster, in Victoria Street. So this is the department that is responsible for dealing with climate change. We had a department dedicated before, the Department of Energy and Climate Change, DEC, which was closed. I think it was David Cameron or Theresa May closed and decided it wasn't important enough and merged it with this department. So in here, this is where they prepare all the information for the likes of COP26 and produce lots of very glossy reports. And this gentleman is pointing out the fact that we're heading towards 4 degrees of warming, which is mass murder. It's very clearly marked in pink on the glass facade. He's got a nice big banner saying "Act now for all our children." He was very eloquent when he was speaking about why he's there. He's talking about the failure of the governments, also talking about the failure of the BBC to report about what's actually happening. He's highlighting the fact that it was reported on the BBC the hottest recorded temperature ever, and the BBC never linked anything to climate change. Also for the fact of the heat wave that we've just had, all the record temperatures over 34 Celsius for several days. And again, the BBC failed to link any of it to climate change. So the BBC is failing us in its duty to inform and educate. So very well spoken by this gentleman. Just going to have a chat with. So we've got more people. Solidarity joining in. Yeah. Oh, sorry. So we've just got people just creating a pathway.
Legitimate protest storm, they'll pull it out.
We got just have a go and chat with this guy here. So do you know what's going on here? Do you want to have a quick word?
Yeah.
It's for Extinction Rebellion UK.
Sure.
Yeah, just speak normally. I'll hold it.
Okay. Well, basically, simply, it's a father. He's terrified of the future that his children are going to inherit. It's really simple. It's really, really simple. It's someone who knows the science, just like the government know the science. However, he is aware of the implications and is absolutely terrified for his children. The government's own panel on climate change told the government they should prepare for a 4-degree world. And what are they doing? That they're responding in a way that's not equivalent to the absolute catastrophe that is in the trajectory that we're headed. It's absolutely bonkers. So you've got a father crying out for his children's futures. It's absolutely mental. Why is this still going on?
Yeah. I can't hear what he said. Did you hear what he's saying?
No.
Yeah. Oh, he's talking now to the officers. He's explaining to the officers of why he's actually forced to do this, why he's actually forced to take direct action against the government. He's very well informed. He's referring to governmental publications, referring to the Committee on Climate Change's 180-page report that came out a couple of months ago. Damning report that has its own government report criticising the government's lack of action, which is criminal, is what it is. So we've got our own government breaking its own laws and condemning its own citizens to 4 degrees of warming by their own emission. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to just add to?
Just that I'm really moved by his delivery. Yeah. He's really, as you say, he's really informed, and he's communicating everything that the scientists tell us. He's communicating just what they tell us. Mm-hmm. However, what the scientists don't say quite often is what it means, for you and me, for normal people, what the implications are of the science that comes out all the time. New science is coming out all the time that confirms and blows expectations out of the water. It's just getting worse. And here is just someone who's just concerned about his children's futures. This is just going to keep on going, and it's absolutely bonkers.
He's a father, and he feels compelled that he has to actually do this
for his children's lives. I mean, it's bonkers that we're at this situation, and we're within his children's futures, a lifetime. Sorry, they could be looking at a 4-degree world. It's absolutely bonkers.
Thank you very much. See if do you know anybody who was here earlier as well? I can have a word with.
Bring it around. Like maybe Michelle.
How you doing?
Hey, good, thank you.
Okay, go.
I'm just about to go and start the live stream for London, and then I was going to interview Michelle.
Yeah.
She said she's happy to chat.
Yeah.
Don't know if you want to interview Michelle first.
Yeah.
Because you're in London, aren't you? UK.
Yeah, and you jump onto London then. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Cool. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Are you okay to have a quick word?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to just stand over here? There you go. What's your name? Michelle. So Michelle, I am just going to hold this towards you.
Okay.
And you just speak normally.
Okay.
Sorry, what's your name?
Michelle.
Michelle. What's going on here?
Right now, we have a rebel up on the roof, and he is protesting the lack of action to the increased rate of climate change and the temperatures it's going to reach by the next 80 years.
Okay. And so he's climbed up, he's unraveled a banner, and I've heard that he's a father, so he's very concerned about his children.
Yeah, he's a father of 2, and his youngest son. So that means within their lifetimes, they will be seeing full frontally the effects that climate change is going to have caused by our inaction. Yeah. So in that sort of responsibility, he's climbed onto the Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy to sort of recognize their part in how we have to sustainably change the way that we interact and sort of work within the limits of our world and to do it now.
Okay, amazing. So this department is it's got a lot of responsibility for the government's actions of planning for the future. So it's quite an appropriate place. Thank you for that. Anything else you'd like to add?
That's all right.
Yeah.
Cheers, man.
Where are you from?
Bristol.
Okay. Loads of people from all over London or UK this week. There you go. Thanks very much.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so we've just, in case you're just joining us, we've got a man who's climbed up on top of the entrance of the Department of Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy. We've now got people have moved in, climbers. There's a ladder has just come out now. I'm just going to go. Let's squeeze in. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. So they've got a ladder. Ladder has just come out. They're assembling a. So we've got some harnesses, a ladder. It's not very high up. It's not like the climbers. He's just standing there on the top of the doorway. Got one person holding the ladder. Got some people with some kind of like harnesses, climbing ropes. Looks like they're trying to decide what to do. He's standing there very defiant. There you go. How old are your children?
22.
22. 6.
2 and 1.
There we go. So he's got four children. He's doing it for his children. The youngest are 2 and 1. So by the time that they grow up, by the time that they're 15, it's estimated we would have had the first Blue Ocean event, which is a major tipping point. It's going to be a Arctic-free summer. And it was a NASA reported damming report that came out a couple of weeks ago from NOAA of 12 different from 12 different satellite images, reports, and sources. They got all the information together with the information on the rapid melting of the ice caps, glaciers, and the increasing global temperatures, and they brought forward the first Blue Ocean event from what used to be thought as like 2060, 2070, then it was 2050, and now the most accurate is by 2034, we're going to have a Arctic-free summer, which means the Arctic is going to start absorbing solar radiance as opposed to reflecting. So we have the way that like a white reflects energy and black absorbs energy. So if you ever touch a tarmac on a hot day, it's quite hot as opposed to something painted white. And that's exactly what happens in the Arctic. So the solar radiation hits the Arctic, it gets reflected back out into space. Then if it turns into a dark blue as an ocean, it will start absorbing energy, and it's one of the major tipping points that we're very worried about reaching. So it's estimated it's going to be in 13 years time. So by the time his kids are teenagers, we could be looking at a nice free summer. They got 2 ladders up. They put harnesses in place. They got rope going up now. They're clipping onto the supports above. Got one person holding a ladder. We've got quite a lot of police here. Police going the whole way down the street. We'll zoom in down here. We've got the police in blue here. All recording the action. We're recording them, they're recording us. We've got quite a few press has come. Crowd is gathering. You see the police line going the whole way down. There we go.
While he's been up there, he's been educating everyone down below, including the police officers.
There you go. So we now have a harness going up. The harness is now getting looks like it's going to be getting placed around the rebel, the father of 4, who's doing this for his children, and not just his children. Anybody in the world who's got children, he's making a defiant stance to raise the alarm on the inadequate actions of this government and of pretty much all governments around the world to act. Of all the G20 countries, all G20 countries are failing their climate change obligations. They're now putting a harness around them. We've now got more press have arrived. Got the legal observers doing their jobs, making sure everything that's happening is being done legally. Got a little mill of photographers down there. People just watching what's going on. All under the watchful eye of the police. So we had the Department of Energy and Climate Change. DEC was closed by the government with their wisdom to merge it into one big department, to mix it in with business and industrial strategy. So it must be very hard for these people who are trying to, dealing with climate change, fighting against business. So like big strategies like road building, the 30 billion they're spending on road building, money they're spending on HS2, also to like infrastructure projects, wanting to expand Heathrow, third runway at Heathrow. All these big super infrastructure projects all go against the grain of what we should be doing, of drastically reducing our CO2 reduction, of everything across the board, in transportation, food, how we get our energy, the goods that we buy and use. They're now trying you can see the harness is going on. There you go. Putting a harness around them. And if you heard this gentleman's passionate plead there. It was about the fact that the BBC are not reporting about the climate emergency. They're failing to report the record temperatures this year. The hottest temperature ever recorded on Earth officially was not linked to climate change. The absurd heat we had this year with the 34 degrees of the heat waves, never once linked to climate change. And the way the BBC report about it, they're reporting about people all going to the beach having a great time. You know, we're all enjoying a nice warm bath as we slowly start boiling together. This man is, as he said, he's doing it for his children. Big shout out to people who are watching this. If you can please reshare this to as many people as possible. You know, we want as many people to know the truth. The truth's not being told by the media in this country. There seems to be we know that Rupert Murdoch is. It's been reported that he's a climate change denier, trying to claim that the newspapers that he controls are independent. You know, but then, you know, when you look at actually what's printed and what's reported, it's not reporting the accuracy of the danger that humanity and everything that we share the planet with is actually facing. If it did, we'd be having in-depth, you know, dissection conversations about every single aspect of the Committee on Climate Change's report. We'd be going through it like section by section of all the failings. We'd be talking about adaptation. We'd be talking about like how we're going to deal with the increased risk of flooding, famine, war, starvation. Instead, we're just, you know, what we're getting is it's propaganda from the government, and because the government, you know, the government is failing us, so we need to get this out to as many people as possible. Big shout out to all the positive responses coming in here.
Scientists, experts, informed people.
There you go. So it looks like they're trying to unglue him. They're putting a chemical around his hand at the moment. He's just there in defiance. He's very looking very focused. Just a reminder as well, there's more things happening tomorrow till Thursday. You can please come down and you can join us in Parliment Square. We're allowed to be there. You can come and chat to people. You know, bring a mask, maintain social distancing, and you know, come and join us. See why we're here. See what's going on. If not, if you're in the regions, join a regional group. There's so many different actions happening up and down across the country. So many different ways you can get involved. So many different factions, groups. We got XR doctors, XR priests. We got XR engineers. A huge list, and also nice local XR groups you can get involved with. Just pan around so you can see. So this is the Department of Energy and Industrial Strategy.
Right now I'm going to be speaking to somebody who is also part of...
Yep.
Come to send me away direction.
Yeah.
Right now, Michelle, hello. Thank you.
Yeah. Just having a little walk around.
That was wonderful.
All right.
Thank you so much.
So let's go just have a little wander back here. Just going to see.
I think he's trying to make a statement. global warming.
Sorry. Okay. So yeah, so in case you're just joining, it's reporting from in front of the Department of Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy. I hope I've got that right. There's a man locked on, glued on above the entranceway. I'm just having a quick pop down this way to see. Where I was having. Okay, I'm just going to just having a look for somebody. Okay, bear with me. Just going to run to Parliment Square, where we've got one of the climbers, or one of the blockaders of the News Corp has come down and wants to highlight the fact that he never had a solicitor, access to a solicitor, and wants to make a speech in Parliament Square. So I don't know if I've missed it or not. So I'm just going to run down. Bear with me. Oh, here we go.
Oh, okay.
Lion, is he here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go and do something else.
Okay.
Go and check it out.
How you doing? How you feeling?
Yeah, alright.
Yeah.
More nervous about the
There we go. So yeah, so I had to just go and cover that. There's always things going on. So this is Christopher. How you doing? So I'm just gonna have a little chat with you, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna hold this. Actually, I'll sit. No, it's okay. I'll sit down so you're more comfortable. There we go. So what's your name?
Christopher Ford.
Christopher Ford, okay. And you're one of the people who are part of the blockade.
That's correct, yeah, outside the Point Works in Broxbourne.
Yeah. And you're there to tell the media to report about climate change.
Exactly that, yeah. The Murdoch press and the others like it, they're not paying attention to the correct things that are needed to be discussed amongst society.
Yeah, absolutely. And you did tell me you're a little bit shy about just being interviewed, so
I am. Yeah.
no, which is fine. So I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions. So you were there and you're locked on. Yeah.
I was indeed locked on with about 50 other people.
Yeah.
And I was arrested there and charged with obstruction of the highway.
You arrested for?
I was in the police cell for about 13 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was. Were you fed?
I was fed and treated well enough, and it was all going swimmingly until I was released. Yeah, and at that point things started going how I felt was rather wrong. Yeah. So I wasn't given an interview, and upon release I was given some quite stringent bail conditions, which I wished to refuse. I wanted to refuse them, but the police said that they were refusing to allow me to refuse them, and that I was basically being kicked out of the police station. With the bail conditions imposed on me coming from the police. I wished to speak to my solicitor at that point, and they denied me access to my solicitor, so the whole time I was in the police station I didn't speak to a solicitor at all. And so the bail conditions say that I'm not allowed within the M25, and that I'm not allowed to protest or support XR or any other affiliated groups, which means any environmental group, within the whole of the UK until September the 13th. And I find that extremely, authoritarian. Yeah, and I wish to challenge that, and I wish to challenge that by forcing the police to arrest me so that I go to court, as I wished in the first place when I wanted to refuse the bail conditions.
Okay. That's very brave of you. Okay. So we're going to take a walk down now?
We're going to walk down to Parliment Square. I'm hoping to give a little speech, about 5 minutes, maybe a bit longer,
Yeah.
and then walk towards the House of Parliament, and expect to be arrested on the way, or if not sooner, maybe even while I'm talking.
Okay. Just a bit of housekeeping. Have you gone to the toilet? Are you? Have you had some water and everything?
I'm ready for that. Yeah.
Okay, you're ready. Yeah. I wasn't last time, by the way. Okay, shall we take a
Sure,
walk?
yep.
Yeah. Okay. So Christopher is part of the blockade that has sent newspapers here and around the world into a frenzy, talking about the freedom of press has been eroded. Yet the very reason of the action is to highlight the controlled narrative of the media in this country, and to question, is it right that we can have 5 billionaires controlling over 70% of what we read and see and hear? And you know, we're asking, like, well, you know, what is freedom of press? You know, is the fact that, like, you know, the most main issues that people are concerned about, well, a lot of people, with the climate emergency, is not getting reported on. It's not being given the print media and the proper scientific scrutiny. It's being treated more like a little bit of a mild entertainment for some. I've got a green light. And so this is what's being challenged. You know, the people who've done it have really drummed up the question about what is free, you know, what is freedom of press. We've learned some pretty shocking things, that the government, the press in this country, its reporting is so inaccurate that we're behind quite a lot of countries in the world in terms of fact-checking of what people are actually saying.
So I had hoped to stand next to one of my idols, Mahatma Gandhi. However, unfortunately, it's behind police tape, so I might have to just stand here and do it.
Yeah, okay. Where's your... Something to announce that you're here?
Yeah, sure. So, one moment while I just get myself prepared.
Just right. Mic check! Mic check! Mic check! This young man has come down today to get arrested. He's going to give a speech, and I'd like everybody to hear what he has to say. So please come over. Maintaining social distancing. Okay.
Are we going to mic check it?
Or? Do you want to be mic checked? We can.
I've already, I can do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check! I would like to make a speech. Because I am about to be arrested. I would ask for people to gather around as far as my voice reaches. My name is Christopher Ford. Can I just do this bit, because it's quite...
Okay.
My name is Christopher Ford. I'm a father to 2 sons and a nursery school teaching assistant. And I believe I am about to get arrested. I have come to this rebellion to demand that Parliament approve the Climate and Ecological Emergency Bill and force the government to take action and start taking the dual crises seriously. Yes. I have contacted my MP, Daniel Zeichner, on multiple occasions, by email and post, as well as attempting to visit him at Parliament. My one and only reply made no comment on the climate and ecological emergency,
but instead told me that he did not sign open letters or petitions. Despite reassuring me of his environmental credentials, he was not a signatory to the Climate and Ecological Emergency Bill when it was introduced in Parliament last week. He did, however, tell me that he likes the bees. I have here a letter I wish to take to Parliament and hand deliver to my MP, since he will not contact me. So, like many of you, I was thrilled to hear that Caroline Lucas had tabled the Climate and Ecological Emergency Bill. But I was stunned that only 22 of the 650 MPs have initially backed it. And it horrifies me that the next reading will be in 6 months' time. This is an emergency. We need to take action now, not in 6 months. My main concern is for the Climate and Ecological Emergency Bill, but one cannot ignore the other crimes that we see happening around us within our society. I was arrested outside DEFRA for protesting against HS2. I spread washable paint on the road to signify the blood of the animals who are being murdered and their homes destroyed for profit, whilst 2 brave rebels locked on to a 1-ton trunk cut from the ancient woodlands. Woo! For spilling the washable paint, I have been charged with criminal damage. I have also been arrested outside the print works, alongside with 80 others protesting against Murdoch's murderous media, whose papers spew lies, hatred and division while ignoring mankind's biggest threat. I have been charged with obstruction of the highway. I know that many rebels have been arrested, many of them unwillingly, caught in a police trap. Yeah, shame. I know that they, like I, have been given stringent bail conditions which take away our freedom of protest. I am not allowed within the limits of the M25. I am not allowed to protest nor support XR or any other environmental group anywhere within the UK. But I am not here to support XR. I am here to safeguard my son's future. I am here to protect society and the planet itself. But I am not allowed to stand here pleading for my children's future in front of the House of Commons, because an authoritarian government is putting huge pressure on the police commanders, who then tell the constables to make arrests, often illegally. How many of you officers arrested the cyclist on Lambeth Bridge? Did that make you feel good? Was that the community-based police service that you joined up for? Police officers, you know the climate and ecological crisis will hit you just as hard. I know there are many of you that agree with us, but you are too caught up in the system to be able to break out. You have peaceful protesters here, ordinary people, demanding a cleaner, safer future for our children, and for your children too. We are all in this together. We are peaceful, but we are determined, and we will not give up. So police officers, if you want this rebellion to stop, so you can all go home, then pass the message up the chain of command and tell the government to pass the Climate and Ecological Emergency Bill without delay. Woo! Woo! We will not stop. We will not stop until they do so, because this is an emergency. Woo! am not allowed to stand here because of an authoritarian government using unreasonable bail conditions, unlawful arrests, stealing our phones and denying us access to speak to solicitors, all to scare us. But I am far more scared of the future and of the climate crisis than I am of Boris Johnson or of Priti Patel. So I challenge the authority of the government and the police by handing myself over to the court system right now to let them decide whether the police's actions and excessive bail conditions are a right and proper way to treat peaceful protesters. I go now against my bail conditions to attempt to hand deliver my letter to the House of Commons, to my MP, Daniel Zeichner, who refuses contact, so that I may peacefully protest my right to a future free from fear. At this point, I should shout extinction, and you would all reply rebellion, but I am not allowed to do that.
Rebellion! Rebellion!
Okay, so now I'm going to attempt to walk towards the House of Commons. As you may well have just heard.
Can I take some details from you?
I said, yes, I said within the speech, my name is Christopher Ford. I have nothing to hide.
Together earlier. Thank you very much. Ford, was it? F-O-R-D?
F-O-R-D.
Marvellous. State birth, please, sir.
I'm not going to say that while we're live streaming.
Okay.
That's quite
so,
you've been recording that one anyway?
Yeah, it's not live streaming, this one.
Okay, okay.
I wish to proceed to the House of Parliament.
Well, you want to stay here for the moment?
I wish to proceed to the House of Parliament to deliver my letter to my MP. If you wish to arrest me on the way, then you may do so. But I'm planning on going to the House of Commons. And please, I'm not too sure, I don't want to make it look like we're being aggressive by all going. Okay? I would like to go alone to go and do this. Maybe with a camera just to show you what I'm doing. But I would actually like to go alone so we don't look like we're going en masse. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Do you want?
If you wouldn't mind,
yeah.
As long as you don't mind the risk.
Do you want this as well? The bus card?
Bus card, thank you very much.
Okay. He's now.
Would you like some identification? I have a bank card on me.
Have you got? You don't have to have anything that states your bail conditions on it, do you? It would speed up us checking.
So, do you know what? I actually left them at home.
No worries, not a problem. 4131.
What's the name of your MP again?
Daniel Zeichner. He is also the Shadow Minister for the Environment and Rural Affairs. So you would think that he would know about the seriousness of the crises we face.
Yeah.
However, he has not contacted me in any way regarding the question I was asking him. Would he support the Climate and Ecological Emergency Bill?
Yeah.
He refused to answer that.
Okay. So watch out for the cyclists.
There's a sergeant.
Okay.
And say what my intention is.
Okay.
Sergeant, I am currently breaking my bail conditions to be here. I am not allowed within the M25. I'm not allowed to protest with XR or any other environmental group or support me. I would kindly like to take a letter to my MP in the House of Commons. He refuses to make. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not wearing a mask. I'm sorry.
So I am.
Well, fair enough. I should be wearing one though.
You are the politest person I've dealt with today.
Well, I always try and be respectful to the police. If you treat people with respect, you get respect back.
Thank you. Go on.
So, I wish to deliver this letter to the House of Commons to my MP. He is refusing to make any contact with me by email, by post. Sorry.
That's not for you.
I didn't think they would get a helicopter for me. So I would like to proceed, if that's all right, against my bail conditions.
Is there a letterbox at the House of Commons?
I believe you're allowed to hand in a letter.
There?
I believe it is. I've checked this out. There is a democratic right that you're allowed to
in the road. I mean,
Okay,
obviously
then.
there's an issue if you are breaching your bail.
I am indeed breaching my bail conditions.
So when
Will
were
you
they
allow
set?
me to proceed?
Well, I need to just quickly discuss the bail and then I'll let you go.
Okay, then.
Once I know what the bail's all about. So what's the bail all about?
The bail, I was arrested outside of, well, I've been arrested twice. I've been arrested outside of DEFRA for protesting against HS2, and I've been arrested outside of the Print Works in Broxbourne, protesting against the right-wing
Were you actually charged with offences?
I was
or were
charged.
you bailed?
I was released on the first one. I was released under investigation, and the second one, and there was no bail conditions to that.
Yeah.
The second one in Broxbourne, I was charged with obstructing the highway, and my bail conditions are to not enter Hertfordshire. It's fair enough, because that's where the offence took place.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed within 100 metres of any Printworks factory. That's fair enough, because that's where my offence took place.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed anywhere within the M25.
I think you might be within the M25.
I am indeed within the M25. That is where I'm breaking my bail conditions.
Well,
but I do not find that reasonable, because my offence did not take place within the M25. And the only place I can protest my rights towards our democratic centre is here within Westminster, and that is within the M25. I am also not allowed to protest, another one of my bail conditions, I'm not allowed to protest or to support XR or any other affiliated groups.
You've been doing that today?
Well, just by standing there. Well, actually, my here.
I didn't hear your speech, so
okay,
the entire thing recorded. He's got your speech.
I know you, but I'm explaining to you, sir.
Yeah, no, I know you are. I'm not.
So I am not here to support XR. I'm here to safeguard the future of my children. My full name is Christopher Ford. I do not mind giving my full name. I am who I am.
Christopher, my name's Sergeant King. All right.
Hello, Sergeant King.
You understand you're going to have to get nicked.
I understand that,
but I think you understood that. I also heard someone say they were about to get arrested, perhaps. Was that you?
Me, yes.
So you know what the score is.
I do.
Can you deliver the letter?
May I deliver the letter first?
Well, I personally don't have an issue with that, but let's just do the procedure first, and then we'll work out where we're going from there, all right?
Okay, then.
So what I'm going to ask, it was Daniel, wasn't it?
Daniel Zeichner. That's
no, sorry, your first name.
My first name is Christopher Ford.
Sorry, I'm getting old, Christopher. Come this way, Christopher.
Is your bail courts or police?
Police. I was refused to challenge the bail conditions at the station. I said I wish to refuse them.
Oh, you did try?
I did try and refuse.
Coming from.
Okay.
I get where you're coming from. Let's get someone along to sort of do the deed, as it were. I've got no problem with that, but let's just work it out. If you've got a few minutes, and then we'll go from there, all right?
Okay. Then
what I would sooner is, because we're sort of by this crossing, can we just move up this way?
Okay.
Yeah.
I figure you're not going to run because you've come approaching me.
Yes.
That would be a bit stupid, a bit of a waste of time. All right. All I'm going to do is I'm going to get an officer that's available to come and nick you.
Would I be able to deliver my letter first, sir?
I'm going to do my best for you because you seem so reasonable. So bear with me, and I'll sort it out.
Thank you very much.
Governor, it's just a breach of bail.
Yeah, we're just trying to establish whether it's police or court.
Oh, right, you're actually doing the check?
Yeah, it's already done.
It did not go to court, so yeah, I was... Sorry, sir. It didn't go to court. I wished to refuse at the time to take it.
Did you get a court date though, and the conditions were as part of that?
I'm not entirely sure if there was a court date. I can't honestly remember.
Just give us a couple of minutes.
Unfortunately, I left my paperwork at home.
If I can help get that delivered, I will, all right?
Thank you.
Good.
You seem very reasonable, Sergeant.
Absolutely. I just said,
this
I
is
wish
all
everyone was like this. It'd make my job so much easier.
Well, we are peaceful protesters.
And I know that.
And we are just ordinary people who wish to change the system that we are in, because the system is toxic and it is quite literally killing us.
I've been reading all of it. This is my first day down here, but I've been reading about it, so it's nice to actually meet someone like this. I'm chuckling, not at you, but just
I understand.
The scenario. You seem to be, I can see you smirking under there as well. So
I understand that the police do a very difficult job. I understand that you see quite often the shittier side of life.
We do see the shittier side.
Yes, and so, yeah, but you know, we are not the shitty side of life. Yeah. We are ordinary people here who are peacefully protesting, wishing for a fair future that's free from fear. Yeah.
So who's your MP?
Daniel Zeichner of Cambridge.
Cambridge, I was going to say, I don't recognise the name, so it's not around here.
Daniel Zeichner, MP, House of Commons. Okay.
No, we're dealing with something else. I must assume there's a facility to drop off letters, so I'll work it out for you.
I have checked this in the past,
I think-
and I know last April there was a group of XR people who came here. It must have been a couple of hundred people who all wrote letters and tried to deliver them at the same time.
And could they?
No, they couldn't. And it's fair enough. You can't expect 200 people to all walk in there with letters at the same time. However, today I'm coming on my own. And so I don't think it's unreasonable for one person to approach the House of Commons, and I am indeed a commoner. Let's not forget that I am a commoner, and sometimes I feel that the MPs in there forget that they are commoners too, and they treat themselves as lords. And it's time, by introducing the Climate and Ecological Emergency Bill, as was tabled by Caroline Lucas, we will establish a Citizens' Assembly which will take the power away from the MPs who treat themselves as lords.
Here's an interesting question then.
Yes.
If you were going for commoners, why did you pick on the sergeant?
Why did I pick
Not
on
the
him?
officers.
Well, to be honest, I recognise your stripes, and I didn't see, to be honest, if I'd seen the tips. I was gold, or was he bronze?
Bronze, I believe. Yes, bronze.
It couldn't be gold, I wouldn't have
No,
thought.
you
I've
wouldn't
never
get
seen
gold.
on
No, you
the
never
street.
see gold.
To be honest, if I'd seen him there, I would have picked on him. I'm sorry. But to be honest, you're such a nice gentleman. I'm glad I met you today.
It's been an okay day. I can't complain. I can't complain.
So you said you've been reading about the climate emergency.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, bits and bobs, you know. I mean,
Do you understand the science? I'm not trying to be. I'm just being quite general. I'm just,
Do you know, I was thinking about it on the way into work today, and what I decided was, if anyone asked me that, say, I've chosen to follow another sort of passion. So while your passion is climate change, mine is my job, which is what I do, and it takes up all my time. I've got 2 kids, so in between, they're my passion. So I'm a voyeur, sitting on the back watching what you do, and that's my input into it.
If I may say so. Okay, I think it's very honourable, because I understand the police, as I said earlier, do have to see the shittier side of life. And you have to pick up the pieces very often. I was assaulted earlier this year. First person I called was the police. So you're there to help protect civilians, and I find that a very honourable thing to do. However, I would say though that the climate crisis is going to affect everybody, whether your passion is elsewhere. And I say this to all of you watching as well. Even if your passion is elsewhere, the climate crisis is going to affect all of us. We all need to do something about it, and we need to do it right now. There is no time left to take action. We need to take action now. Sorry.
No, it's fine. You do your bit, mate. You do your bit. Not a problem. Not a problem. What did you used to do for a living before you got onto this?
No, I still.
Is this your full-time, part-time?
No, this not. I am a nursery school teacher. I look after vulnerable 3- and 4-year-olds. The last child had autism. The child before that had family issues at home, should we say? So I do what I feel is an honourable job. I used to throw my passion into that. That's how I used to feel.
So you understand what I was trying to say?
Absolutely, I do. Yes.
Said perhaps quite badly.
No. You didn't say it badly at all. I just wanted to point out that the climate and ecological crisis is going to affect all of us. And so I take time away from my work, unpaid, and also getting black marks against my record, to protest against the climate change. The school where I work, they have been very supportive of me. Personally, but however professionally they cannot be. So unfortunately my nursery has been affected by austerity over the last 10 years or more. Every year we've had to make more and more cuts until it got to the point where we can no longer offer the Sure Start services and the family services and the parenting courses and all the other things that we used to offer to make our community a better community. Austerity has taken it all away from us, and to such a point where now the nursery where I work has had to close down. All but it's cut to a third of its size. It's had to lay off nursery workers across the board. The head teacher has gone, the business manager has gone. It's been absolutely decimated, and it's going to tragically affect our community. And that would be if it were not for the climate crisis, I would be out on the streets fighting that, and fighting the way the bankers took the money. That really gets to me. They took the money away from the children. That's what I really care about as well. But that is also why I'm here. I'm here not so much for my future, but I'm here for the children's future. I'm here for my children's future. I'm here for all children's futures, because the future is what we leave to them. And if we leave them a planet that is not able to be habitable, what kind of gift is that to our children?
No, exactly. Exactly.
Have we got any word coming through about whether I can take this to you?
So in case you're just joining us, we're in front of the Houses of Parliament in London, where this brave man here is breaking his bail conditions by coming within the M25 from associating with Extinction Rebellion, and he's told that he was not allowed to associate with Extinction Rebellion or any other environmental group, and he's come to hand deliver a letter to his MP, who he's been trying to.
I've tried contacting him by email. So the officer here was just suggesting that perhaps I could take the letter away and deliver it after my bail conditions are finished. That is not acceptable. We need to act now. Now.
My other option was you give it to
I
me,
understand that, sir.
If
And
they
you're
say
saying
you
your
have
other
to go
option.
in the van.
So I was just explaining to the camera, because I think they might have missed it. Your other option was that I may give you the letter and you would try and deliver it. However, that means I have no longer know where the letter is gone. And I appreciate you seem a very lovely man and that you would probably do that. However, I feel I need to hand it in person, so I know that it's got there. So I know it's got to his office, and so that I know he's going to read it and answer me.
So how do we guarantee it's got to his office? Because we ain't going to be able to walk in there, are we? I can't get in there. What chance have you got?
Well, I don't know, to be honest.
So
Actually, I don't exactly know. Under coronavirus times, who knows what conditions there might be. However, I wish to get it as close as possible up until I get arrested, essentially, and that'll be my way forwards. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll know soon enough. I won't keep anything from you. I'll let you know straight up.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
There you go. That was.
You may not want to discuss it on the camera, but was that the first time you got nicked the other day when you got released on your investigation?
I've been arrested at the April Rebellion, the October Rebellion, and other protests within Cambridge, all for the same reason: to fight for a fairer future.
So you've been arrested a few times?
I had for doing minor protesting, such as sitting on a road. In October, I was arrested for trespassing because I sat outside of Barclays singing songs.
Singing songs?
Singing songs.
You must be one bad singer.
I'm not that bad. It's a shame I didn't have my guitar.
There we go.
If you start singing now, you're definitely nicked, all right?
There you go. There you go. So you're nicked for outside Barclays.
Yeah, on Canary Wharf. Yes.
So Barclays, since signing the Paris Accord in 2015, have invested 85 billion in new oil and gas extraction.
That does not surprise me at all.
You know, so this is what we're up against.
They are absolute criminals. Yes.
It's simple science. You crunch the numbers. There's 2.1 trillion dollars being invested. Oh, here we go. So,
hello there.
How are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you.
Good. You've alerted us that you have breached your police court bails.
That's correct.
Okay,
yes.
Bail conditions. Those conditions are not to be within the M25.
That's correct.
And not to be involved in any protest, specifically one that associated with XR.
Or any other environmental group is.
Perfect. Well, you do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioning something which you later are in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. Okay. The necessity for your arrest is to put you before a court.
That is what I wanted. Yes, I want to go before the court to challenge the bail conditions.
Perfect. What we're going to do is we're going to search you under section 32 of PACE, okay, to ensure you've got nothing on you that could either aid your escape
So may
or
I
harm
ask,
yourself.
can I just quickly ask, sir?
Of course you can.
Now that you've arrested me, am I no longer allowed to head towards the House of Parliament to deliver a letter to my MP?
Not currently, okay.
Okay.
Christopher, we just put the letter in your bag because we'll keep all your
yes,
belongings. We'll keep them all safe.
I'd like to put it in my bag.
We're not going to look at your letter or anything. We just put it in your bag.
That's right. Now, I would actually like then to read my letter out, if you don't mind, seeing as it's not going any further.
It's quite small.
Dear Mr. Zeichner, I have written several emails to you, posted letters. I have asked you for a meeting and tried to hand deliver a letter to you at the Houses of Parliament, only to be stopped by police on several occasions. I demand to meet with you, my representative. A written reply will not be possible since the police have confiscated my telephone in order to bully me. I am here in Parliment Square and I would like you to come out and meet me. I demand to know why you have not backed the Climate and Ecological Emergency Bill, despite having voted for declaring an emergency last year within Parliament. I demand you do back the bill and give every effort to encourage all MPs to do likewise, especially all those MPs who voted to declare a climate and ecological emergency in May of last year. I demand you use all means to hasten this bill through Parliament and its procedures. This is an emergency and we do not have the time for procrastination. Yours sincerely, Christopher Ford.
So just hold up the letter. Okay. There you go. Well, you
Okay,
got
Christopher, perfect, thank you. Do you want to pop your letter? We don't want to lose your letter, so you pop it in there, we look after your belongings.
Yep.
Okay, we'll make sure that's safe for you.
Thank you very much.
Just to help us along, do you have anything else in your possession that
I do have some things in my pocket.
Can you
I
just
make
hand
sure I travelled light without hiding anything.
Yeah, no, of course. Okay, have you got anything that you in your pockets though we could just take now?
Yes, you can empty my pockets.
It's alright, we just want to just make sure there's nothing that could hurt you or hurt us.
No, that's all it is.
Oh, like I say, everything will keep safe.
Should I read that to the camera?
I'm just going to hold on to it now, Christopher. We just want to move the process along and get things moving. Obviously, then we can do what we can.
Okay. What I just wanted to read there, if I can memorise it, was by Dietrich Bonhoeffer, an anti-Nazi theologian who was murdered in the concentration camps in 1945. We are not to be the bandage. Wait a minute, let's try and remember this. We are not to be the. Oh. We are not to be the bandage. We're not to be the bandage for the injured, for those who are injured under the wheels of injustice. We are to be the spoke to drive into the wheel itself. I think I've remembered that one.
That sounded right. Sounded right.
We got building requested space.
Yeah, we've got transport on the way.
Yeah, so we have. So Christopher, just bear with us, okay? So appreciate your cooperation.
Yes.
Just bear with us.
Can I take my pockets back in?
Of course you can.
We're probably just going to stay in the back, Christopher.
Thanks,
Yeah,
sir.
we'll get to the custody and they'll go through it all.
Yep, I understand that.
So write it all in to ensure we get it when we get out. I believe because you know, obviously you're not going to go past a certain moment.
Well, I did hand myself in. So
No, appreciate your cooperation. We acknowledge that. Okay, you cooperated.
Thank you very
with us.
much. Yeah.
Do you have any health conditions or anything else that we need to know about?
I'm not going to discuss it with stuff because of
Sure.
stuff like
Okay.
that.
No, appreciate.
Our
Yeah,
live streams.
it's a good point. Yeah, okay, appreciate that. Do you want to sit in our carrier for a minute while we wait for the Pixie then, just to get you out of public view?
I'm quite happy to be in public view.
Yeah, okay. I just want
to be in public.
just give you respect and courtesy. That's all.
I understand that.
If you want to sit in the
Thanks very
carrier,
much.
I'm happy to do that. Otherwise, we're going to wait here for a
very
special van just to take you and the officers off to custody.
Thank you very much for offering me that. So
okay.
that I'd like to stay out.
Okay.
Do we know which
I don't
where we're going?
No.
Okay.
You are under
Yeah.
You are under arrest.
Yes. What, for breaking bail? Yes.
GT Inspector 2. You're on 221 Alpha. Read this chap that's been arrested at Parliment Square. Do you know where he's going?
In case you're just joining us, we're outside the Houses of Parliament, where Christopher has come to hand deliver a letter to his MP, highlighting the ecological and climate emergency and asking his MP to support the Climate and Ecological Emergency Bill. Christopher was arrested a couple of days ago in front of a News Corp, and has openly broken bail conditions to come here to hand deliver a letter, and has handed himself over to the police officers. They're now waiting for a van.
have a kids or not.
All right.
Were you there?
I was on there on Saturday.
When all the cyclists were there?
Yeah, that's right.
I just gave you the description of that. And I referenced that.
All right, okay.
You're back doing your job, I'm back doing my job.
The cyclists,
You know what I mean?
how you felt was the right thing to do. You were arresting people who were just going on a bike ride. For the majority of them, I understand that there were some knocking on, but the majority didn't wish to be there. And I was just wondering, not just yourself, but I was asking all police, does that make you feel right? Is that the right thing to do? Is that what you joined the police for, the police service for? To arrest peaceful protesters who are going about their business, riding their bikes. I wish I'd remember the rest of the speech now.
Oh, Christopher, our vehicle's here.
Wonderful.
Okay, just let it pull up and we'll get you safely in the back of it.
Do you know which station I'm going?
It's yes, South of Woolworth.
Sierra. Mike Sierra, they said, but I don't know where that is personally from the code.
So
Legal services, sir.
Yeah, it's definitely south somewhere.
Woolworth.
Yeah. Obviously, you have your rights and entitlements when you want to jump in first. Then.
Are you going to?
Could you clarify?
Thank you very much.
Could you clarify where they're taking you?
They told me Woolworth.
I'll double check. Oh, thank you.
It's now being put into the back of the police van. It's getting brought to Woolworth. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm live streaming at the moment.
Yeah. We think it's fine. We think he might have lost a piece of paper that he might need.
Oh, his bus card.
Yeah.
I gave him a bus card.
Yeah, I think they took it out of his pocket.
No, it was a different. It was a little. It was something different. It was a quotation. Yeah, spin around here. So, let's make sure nobody around me. So yeah, yet again, quite amazing scenes from outside the Houses of Parliament. To start with, we went via Department of Energy, Business and Industrial Strategy, where a man was highlighting the damaging report that by the own government's admission we're heading for 4 degrees of warming from inaction on the climate emergency from our government. And we had Christopher, who's travelled down to London today to purposely break bail conditions to give him a chance to actually have a solicitor. Last time he was arrested, he was denied access to a solicitor, and he was given bail conditions that he wasn't allowed to object to. So very brave, he came down here within the M25. He's not allowed to associate with Extinction Rebellion or any other environmental group, so which is quite important. So it's not just Extinction Rebellion, it's the fact that it's also any other environmental group. He very bravely came over here to the Parliment Square in front of his hero, Muhammad Gandhi. Made a very, very passionate speech and explained very eloquently to the officers why he was here, and explained to them that he has actually broken his bail conditions and that he was handing himself in to get arrested. The whole thing happened very, very peacefully. Yeah, just hold on a sec. Everything okay? I'm live streaming, yeah. Do you want to talk to me afterwards?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, okay. I'll chat to you afterwards, yeah. Yeah, so what we're seeing is that he's also asking about the bike ride that happened on a couple of days ago. It was a mass arrest of I think nearly 200 cyclists. I was one of them, and we all had our bikes confiscated, which was a a bit of a shock, really. We had there was a pregnant woman on the bridge. There was elderly people. There was children. There was a man with a heart condition. We were kept for several hours. We weren't told why we were detained, and then they mass arrested everybody. Most people were. Everybody was searched. Most people were handcuffed, and we were brought to a holding cell. Got to cross over here, which was actually between the heads of Treasury, where we all got processed, and then I think everybody en masse was de-arrested. Not too sure what's going to be happening further from there. So we're questioning about kind of the police powers that they're using, but as we reported earlier, and even this, Christopher was pointing out very eloquently that like he's not got no problem with the police because they're doing a job. It's the laws that are being brought in place. So it's the likes of Priti Patel bringing in the use of excessive powers for quelling what we know is telling the truth. And this is all based on science. You know, we're not making this up. And we know, we're just even relying on the government's own reports, that their own admission that they are failing. All G20 countries are failing to act. And the chief scientific advisor, the former chief scientific advisor, Sir David King, he's warning that we're on trajectory for existential threat to humanity, which is pretty much you can't get any stark warning than that. And he's highlighting the fact that the government is failing. So you have to ask yourself, who are the real criminals here? Christopher was arrested for sitting down in front of Barclays singing a song. He was arrested for squirting some vegetable paint, I think it was somewhere else. It was for a lock-on, you know, and now he's just gone and broken his bail conditions, and he's a father, and he's doing it for his children, and he's a teacher, and he's worried about his kids, and other people have children, and and for humanity, really, you know. So in essence, that's why people are here. That's why I'm here. You know, a lot of very concerned people, because we know what's happening is not correct. We've got people now, even zoom up here, been up, climbing up these trees. We've been up there for, I think, 6 days now. I've got all sorts of people who are all sorts of, from all walks of life, who've feeling that there's nothing left but to take direct action. And it was Gandhi. You know, he showed us the way of non-violent direct action. Extinction Rebellion is all about non-violent direct action. You know, and people, personally sacrificing their civil liberties, you know, to go to court. And some people facing jail. We've got people in jail right now. We have a doctor that's on hunger strike in the United Kingdom. There's you don't see that in the printed media about people who are actually going to jail. We had a 92-year-old man who was arrested earlier this week, just at the corner down here. We've had a peace vigil that's been going on a whole week now. Just give you a bird's eye view of these guys who've been camping up there. They were denied water. You can see now he's pulling up a bottle of water. And this is because the Extinction Rebellion Exor doctors came down here en masse and demanded a meeting with the police, saying what they're doing was endangering life, because what they were facing was you could get people dehydrated, and women dehydrated, and they could quite literally, you know, lose a footing and fall out of the tree, you know. So they're now allowed access to water, which is quite good. It's sensible. There you go. And we got the peace vigil. I think I'm saying that word right. Is still going on. Let's have a walk down here. I've been here all week.
Hello again.
How you doing? We have to stop meeting like this. There we go. I think I need to have a chat with somebody else. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the faith vigil?
There we go. What's this? Yeah. Do you want to just talk what's going on?
So basically, we've just had our final kind of closing moment with the faith bridge.
Yeah.
So we've had all the different faith traditions: the Jewish, the Buddhist, secular meditators, Christian. So we've just shared reflections, and we've just and a song, and then we've just been having a silent sort of space. We've been holding that space together just to mark the end of the vigil for this time.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, it's been really good.
So tonight's the last night.
Tonight's the last night, so we're literally just about to pack up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good timing for me to come here then.
Yeah, it's pretty good timing.
There we go. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
You've done a phenomenal job yet again.
Yeah, I think it's been really good. I think people have appreciated this space.
Yeah.
And
it's very. I have to say, it's very calming. Seeing you all here meditating like that, just in silence.
I think it's quite
really,
powerful.
It's very powerful.
Yeah. So it's been a real privilege and a joy to be part of this, actually. Yeah. We'll be back, though.
Amazing.
We're here.
Okay. Take care. God bless. Thank you. Gotta have a word with these guys. How you guys doing? Do you want to have a quick word? An Extinction Rebellion, just UK? You're just. Oh.
Are you a faith-based organisation?
There you go.
This young lady's homeless, and she needs some help finding somewhere to live, at least temporarily, and then she'll find her a hostel. Okay. Yeah, please, if you can help. It's very cold now, the weather's changing, and she's tired and hungry, and she wants a bath or somewhere to sleep. I do know that I've been to homeless before, and the church have referred me to their colleagues, and they put me up temporarily in their house. I'm only in a one-bedroom flat, so I can't help her at the moment. But I don't know if there's somebody that can help her in the meantime until she gets a hostel.
So we've seen all types of activities going on with the faith. I'll come back there and have a word. We've got a book swap going on here.
Yes. Yeah,
is it book swap? Who's organised this?
Islington XR.
And we're organising it with Slough. They were setting up a reading space.
Yeah.
So we did it as a collaboration, and we talked aloud. We were reading books during the afternoon between 4 and 7, and it was super interesting and insightful.
Okay, so a book exchange where people bring a book and they swap it?
Yeah, and the good thing is that many people brought more than one book, then they just took one, so it just multiplied like that.
Oh wow. So it looks like we've got some decent books actually. Yeah. There you go. It's very good.
Yeah.
So of a nice array of different things for people to read.
Yeah.
I think I recognise that one there. This is not a drill.
Yeah. Again tomorrow. So if people want to bring a book tomorrow between 4 and 7, we're going to be there.
Yeah. So you're going to bring these books back here, and then they're going to be back tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So if anybody wants to come and swap, you could get a copy of This Is Not a Drill, or something else that takes your fancy.
And
what have you picked?
Well, I picked The World Without Us, and I'm not sure whether to take this one.
The
or
World Without Us.
Trees.
That sounds a bit depressing.
I'll bring you something next time I'm down here.
There you go.
Or else you're Islington, are you?
Yeah.
There we go. So we got a book exchange going on tomorrow, organised by Islington XR. We're going to have some more speeches, more talks. Remember, you can come and join the space here. It's a safe space to get involved. Just want to have a quick chat with you guys. Do you want to have just a quick chat on this Extinction Rebellion live at the moment?
Sure.
So he's on the phone, so it's going to have to be. What's your name?
Shulamet.
Shulamet. Just speak normally. I'll hold it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you're part of the multi-faith.
Yeah, part of Extinction Rebellion Jews, and thus also part of XR Faith Bridge.
Yeah, no, very good. And do you want to just explain what the Faith Bridge is?
So the Faith Bridge is sort of basically XR interfaith group, comprising of the different XR faith communities, so XR Jews, but also CCA, which is Christian Climate Action, XR Buddhists, XR Muslims, and we've been coming together to hold this week of rebellion.
So that's quite amazing. So we're seeing multi-faiths all coming together you know, for the you know, common good of humanity.
Yeah, we just had a closing ceremony just now, which was really lovely, and we opened exactly a week ago with an opening ceremony again with contributions from all of the different faiths. So definitely, I think what it says on the banner, sort of united for our sacred earth, I think that's very much the spirit with which we're all coming to this from our different traditions.
Right, amazing. So that's fantastic. You know, so anybody watching, what message would you give them at home?
I think that message of unity and sort of compassion and care for each other and for the planet, which I think transcends all divisions, including religious ones, and really allows us to celebrate that unity and those differences as part of that rich patchwork of life, fighting for its own survival, which is what we really are as Extinction Rebellion.
Amazing. What part of the country are you from?
I'm from London.
You're from London, okay, you're London based, yeah. So you haven't got too far to go home then?
No.
No. Okay, keep up the good work, and thanks for doing this, you know.
Oh no, thank you.
Really calming, seeing people meditating here and the people of the multi-faith. You know, it really shows that it's kind of like it goes across all communities, all religions, all backgrounds. You know, and we're all in this together, and we all need to act. So
exactly. You hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work. There we go. So it was the last night of the multi-faith that we have held this space for such a long time. It's been very, very powerful of what they've been doing. So I'm gonna sign off now. Don't think there's anything too much else going on. So I was just going to say we have tomorrow, director Nick and Vlad have put together a compilation of highlights of the last week of different actions that have happened, different speeches, a summary of what's been going on. So check out the Facebook page tomorrow. We're asking people to share quite a lot of what's happening with Extinction Rebellion. You know, in the likes of just talking to the multi-faith here is not getting out in the mainstream media. They're failing to report on this. They're failing to report on the why. You know, and again, this isn't just for home entertainment. This is a very serious message that we're sending to our government and governments around the world. They need to act and need to act now. And also people at home, we're asking you to write to your MPs. You can Google about writing to them. You'll get information. You can email them, you can phone them, you can actually request to have a meeting with them locally as well. You can go just get a draft copy of the climate change, the climate and ecological emergency bill. And we need to get the support. We need to get more and more MPs behind this, and MPs will only get behind it if there's pressure put on them. And it's down to us to start putting pressure on the MPs to start supporting this. You know, forget about, you know, party alliance and, you know, all this kind of thing. Is, you know, we need to be all working together on this, and we need to be pushing. Last year Parliament declared a climate emergency, and 1 year later we find ourselves back here at Parliament because they've failed to act. They were able to do it with the COVID-19 emergency, health emergency. They acted pretty quick, you know, and we're asking them to do the same now with the ecological and climate emergency. So please share and please get involved. As I said, don't be a bystander in this. We need more people. We need more support. Check out the links and get involved. Okay, got to sign off. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys soon.